All right. So I got a flashback Friday story for y'all. And this still to this day is like, this could have been handled completely differently. All right. So this, I was in fifth grade when this happened. So in fifth grade, my class, we were, I think the whole school may have been, or it may have been just my class. Like, I don't know if we were selected or the teacher decided to, whatever. But we were doing like a mini science fair. And whoever voted, whose ever experiment or demonstration was voted the best, they would actually go to the main science fair, which would be held in the gymnasium. It was cool stuff, but didn't really care. And I had finished all of my stuff for the science fair. It was basically, you were being graded too, so of course I was like doing it for the grade, trying to get everything done in the best of my ability and get it done in the way that needs to be done and on the time that it needs to. Well, during this particular time, I had two friends who were twins. And all of a sudden, one day, they had asked if they could come to my house because they needed help on a science fair project because they didn't start. And it was only like a week away where the due date was. So I don't know what these girls were doing. But clearly I didn't do all the work. No. I mean, basically, so they came over to my house to help out, well, not to help out, for me to help them out, figure out. And it was basically things like bubbles. And so I helped them make a poster board because we had, like, in my house, we had tons of materials. Like, the thing about my family, and I still do it to this day, is like, when we buy things we know that we are going to use. Like, we don't buy things just to buy things, like, out of impulse or stuff like that. Usually there is a reason, there's intent. Like, I'll buy like things like tape and like thumbtacks and like simple things like that, because I know I'm going to use, because you're going to use thumbtacks when you need to hang something up. You're gonna need tape, especially like this kind of tape, like packaging tape. Like, I do a lot of stuff because I ship a lot of stuff, things like that. Um, you know, uh, if I need to buy like something like a heater or a fan or whatever, those are things I know for a fact I'm gonna use. I'm never gonna buy something just to buy something. And if I do, it's really, really useless. Like, I'm talking really useless. I like the reason why I bought like scissors like these was because I wanted the exact same scissors back at home or something close to it, and I found it. Yeah, I got a lot of scissors in the house, but each scissor is dedicated to its own job. So you need scissors, but like this is it's useless and it's not useless. It's just like I wanted something almost like the scissors back at home, but I know I'm gonna use these, and I do use them. But yeah, so we had a lot of materials for like poster boards, construction paper, scissors, glue, glitter, you name it, anything that was school related, and we had to do something crafty, we had it on hand. So basically these girls, like, I swear, I think these girls just wanted it done and over with, because I said, well, why don't you do something about bubbles? They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, like, find out what dish soap, like the soap like Dawn or any other dish soap things you want to, they're out there, the brands, I can't remember off the top of my head, but why don't you see like which dish soap produces most bubbles? Like, that sounds good. They just took it and ran. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, I had a bunch of other ideas, but if that rocks your boat, that rocks your boat. So as these girls are doing their thing, basically at the same time, they were trying to get a hold of their parents to let them know where they were. Because apparently, first off, like, other people that I know who were my age at the time, 10 years old, they got cell phones. And these girls didn't, for whatever reason. And me, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't get a cell phone until I was like 12, 13 years old. You know, which basically I always felt was kind of stupid, because what if something happened? And even then, it was like, oh, you can only use these for emergencies. Well, I thought the whole idea to have a phone was like to get in contact with people, hang out, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. At least that's how I felt. I didn't want a cell phone because everyone else was. I wanted a cell phone because I wanted a cell phone. Didn't get it till I was like 12, 13 years old. But, excuse me. But aside from that, so these girls were trying to get a hold of their parents. They've called multiple times. I mean, surely the parents had cell phones, but there was nothing. They didn't pick up or anything. It wasn't until maybe close to the end of the day, like around like 6, 7 o'clock, they finally got a hold of their father, and their father was downstairs in the parking lot of the apartment building that I used to live, waiting for these girls. So I'm helping these girls out with their stuff. That way they can take it home, do their finishing touches, do whatever they need to, and go from there. And oh my gosh, I was in for a sight. So basically, the correct thing to do, or the recommended thing to do, is like, if you're angry at your kids for whatever reason. In this case, he was very angry because obviously these girls were not telling them what was going on in school, things like that. You want to get out prying eyes. Like they say, whatever happens behind closed door is no one's business. Whatever happens there, that's how it should be. That's how it stays there. Not out in the open, because people are going to think you're crazy, or you're really overreacting over something that isn't really a big deal, but clearly should be, discussed. So in this dream, not dream, excuse me, not dream. And so in this particular situation, the dude was pissed. And I understand why he was angry, but how he went about it was like not okay. So he's basically shouting at these girls. Now, mind you, I haven't even left yet. I haven't even left yet. I didn't know what to do, because basically I'm holding like this big poster board, and I'm trying to get it in the car. He's like going off, and he's like, well, I gotta figure out what the hell is going on. None of you told me there was some science fair going on. You guys aren't talking. I gotta figure out what's going on here, blah, blah, blah. And like, he was going off. Now, as he's going off, I'm like right there doing my very best not to laugh. Because when I'm in a compromising situation where I am uncomfortable, I am clearly not part of the situation. I am just an innocent bystander. And it's one of those situations where you can't really walk away from, because you like, there's a reason why you're there, but like the reason why they're going off, you have nothing to do with. So he's going off on them, and I see the faces of these girls, like clearly like they're embarrassed. Like the look of embarrassment, and not really shame, because there was nothing that these girls did to be ashamed of. Obviously, they did do something that wasn't taken into consideration. Like, let your parents know, hey, mom, dad, this is what's going on at school. This is what's happening. Is it okay if I can go to so-and-so's house? This and that. And so I'm turning my head, smiling, trying not to laugh, trying to be respectful, trying not to make the situation worse than it already is, because clearly I'm like, what the heck do I do? And it was just like this situation where clearly it could have been taken somewhere else. So once he calms down and everything, he turns to me and I'm like thinking like, I hope you're not gonna yell at me because I was only helping these girls out. I don't know what's going on behind your house. And he goes, I do apologize. Thank you so much for helping these girls out. Say thank you to her. We got a lot of things we need to figure out. So place the board in there and stuff like that. And as I'm like heading upstairs, like I'm doing everything I can not to crack up like a crazy person. Because, obviously, shoot, stop it. Like, obviously, don't worry about him. That's my dog. So, as like he's, as like I'm going upstairs, trying everything I can not to act like a crazy person. I'm like going, well, they tried calling you very much. So if you're not picking up your phone, that's not on them. If it's like me, if someone's trying to get in contact with you, text message or call, and they're calling you 4 or 6 times to let you know about something, it's probably imperative that you pick up the phone. But then again, I don't know their situation. Maybe they had a phone, maybe they didn't have a phone. I mean, both of their parents worked. So basically, their situation, I don't know. Hang on, let me close this door. So basically, their situation, I don't know exactly, because again, I don't live with them. So as I'm going upstairs trying very hard not to laugh, I finally get inside the house. And my mom's in the kitchen sitting on a step stool, because usually that's where she would sit to, have a phone call when she's on the phone. And she's sitting there and she goes, first thing she asks me is like, are you okay? What took so long? And I just busted out laughing. I busted out laughing like, I'm sorry. The whole time I was uncomfortable. When I'm uncomfortable, I want to laugh, and I laugh. So I'm cracking up, and my mom's going, what? Because she's like wondering what's happening. So I'm explaining to her what's going on. I'm even imitating the dude, and my mom is cracking up. She's like, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, I'm serious, Mom. He was going off on these girls, like I don't know what was going on. She goes like, he didn't even like get them in the car first, and I'm like, no, I'm there trying hard not to laugh or anything. He's like, and I gotta know what the hell is going on here. No one's telling me nothing. She's cracking up. I'm cracking up because the situation. She's cracking up. It was just like a freaking like craziness. It was crazy. Like, I swear, like, oh my God. It was crazy. I still, to this day, I'm like, why? You could have done something else. You could have handled this a different way. But then again, I don't know what the gentleman was going through. I don't know what, like I said, I'm not there. I don't live with them, so I wouldn't know what was going on when it was going on. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.